One of the biggest differences between poor people and rich people is poor people value money more than they value time, and rich people value time more than we value money. Poor people value money more than they value time. That's why they're cheap. No, they're not cheap. I'm not saying they're cheap. I'm saying they'll go to a restaurant. Church folk go to a restaurant on Sunday afternoon, sit there for 5 hours and leave $1 tip and a tract. That's called an anti-witness. Okay. So we have to understand that my desire, your desire to have something nice, to have nice experience of life, your desire to have like a nice car and a nice house and live in a nice neighborhood, take nice vacations and have a nice sized bank account, that desire, God gave it to you. God's the one that gave you a desire for nicer, better, because the first command was be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. God commanded the man to be progressively productive in his life, his whole life. Your desire to make today look better than yesterday, and this week look better than last week, and this month look better than last month, and this year look better than last year, and this decade look better than last decade is God-given. And Satan wants you to believe that it's satanic. See, Satan, one of his tactics is to make you believe that your friends are your enemies and your enemies are your friends. Remember what he said to Eve in the garden? You shall not surely die, for God doth know that they eat thereof. Then your eyes will be open and you should be as gods knowing good and evil. What's he saying? He's saying God's just keeping something from you. God's just trying to keep you from being like him. So you want to do something really good for your life? Stop attending Satan's Bible studies.
Say it again.
What does that even mean? Stop attending Satan's Bible studies. If you make the mistake of thinking that everybody who talks about the Bible is representing God, you are delusional. The very first temptation in the history of the world, Satan used what God said to deceive. He twisted what God said to deceive Eve in the garden. He also twisted in the first temptation of Christ, he twisted what God said to attempt to deceive Jesus. But Jesus is the truth, and the truth cannot be deceived. Okay, so your desire to have is God-given. So God said, I'm going to give these people an intense desire to have. And then I'm going to tell them, I'm going to give them some principles and laws that these are the things you must do in order for you to have what you want to have. So having speaks to my property. I'm going to stop on this one for this mindset shift. Having speaks to my property, doing speaks to my activity. So God knew that when I attempted to do something that I don't have an ability to do, I would become frustrated. I'd feel challenged. I would feel insignificant and insufficient. But the reason he did that was not to frustrate us, but to get us to yield to the thing he cares about most. We care the most about this, and so we do a lot of this. God cares the most about this. And while we're ignoring this, we can't do this, and we'll never have that. God cares the most about us becoming. Being speaks to my identity. And when I yield to who God says I am, when I recognize that I am who God says I am, so it doesn't matter. So if I am so intimately familiar with who God says I am, then your misunderstanding of me is not my concern. People it's so funny. So I have been called a prosperity gospel preacher. Myron, are you a prosperity gospel preacher? I don't know. What do you mean by that? That would be my question. If you mean, do I believe in biblical prosperity? 100% I do. Because prosperity is a Bible word. In fact, I remember reading something that says something like, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Now, whatsoever he doeth shall prosper sounds relatively all-inclusive. I don't know. Whatsoever he doeth shall prosper? That means when he does it, it works. Let me ask you a question. How many Bible believing, Bible thumping, church going people do you know who are actually living that? Yeah, so if that's what you mean by prosperity gospel preacher, the word gospel means good news. And the good news about prosperity is you can be prosperous. Now, but if you mean, am I telling you to give me money and God's going to bless you? No, I don't do that. I don't have any blessings for sale. I'll tell you right now, if you give me some money, God might bless you. And then again, maybe he won't. I don't know. Tell you what, you want to give me some money, you give me the money, and then you come back and tell me what happened after that. I don't know. I don't have any blessings for sale. I'm not going to make you a promise that God's going to do something for you because you gave me some money. I don't do that.